Hey everybody, welcome back to another video for Small Biz Artist. We're just doing another plan and chat, I guess. This is much easier. So this is a recording after the fact of me planning, just talking. I figured I would talk about like why anyone would want to start their own small business, especially as an artist, and just kind of like why I did it and my thoughts on it from what I've seen others do. So basically, I've always wanted to do my own business. Like ever since I was really little, I just thought it was the coolest thing to have your own business. I mean, why not? You make something and you can sell it to somebody else. It's a really neat thing. I mean, when you start off and you sell the first thing you made to somebody, it's like, wait, somebody wanted something I made? You know, it's a really nice feeling. And obviously, you know, getting paid for it's nice too. But the business part has always been appealing. The financials, like the inventory, all that stuff, it was never daunting to me. I remember reading an American Girl book about money, and it talked about how to earn your own money via a business. And I'm like, this is so cool. Like it had some spreadsheets in the back you could use for like deducting your income from expenses and then savings and if you have interest coming in and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's so cool. So that's kind of like what inspired me starting off. But I've also been an artist, and when I first learned you could make money off being an artist, like painting or whatever it is, I'm like, that's what I want to do. So eventually when I finally started the business, I did commissions for a while, for a couple of years, and that was just like a small amount of money, like maybe a couple hundred a year or something, which, you know, was a big deal to many, and it did help a lot at the time. But I wanted to do more than commissions. I didn't want to live off commissions because it's very exhausting. So I decided to actually do more of an art business, and that's kind of when I discovered like Artist Alley and Comic-Cons and stuff, and I thought that was so cool. Like an artist is at a convention and selling their stuff or drawing on the spot or whatever. So when I started doing that, that's when I knew this was the field I wanted to be in. Not necessarily Artist Alley or anything like that, but like creating products for my own designs. I've really enjoyed that. Nothing excites me more than looking through a product catalog of what you can like make stuff from, and I could easily spend hours doing that for fun. I enjoy the research, I enjoy the paperwork, I enjoy the obnoxious parts of running your own business, so that was never an issue for me. However, a lot of people who start their own business think, oh, I sold $100 worth of stuff, that's my income. And I started realizing a lot of artists and creatives in general don't have a concept of profit and loss, and they don't know. I mean, it's okay to not know it, obviously, but they don't have an understanding that just because your business is making money doesn't necessarily mean you are getting that as a paycheck. And I also noticed a lot weren't treating it as a business. They were getting frustrated with things like having to learn different algorithms and stuff for different platforms, which is a pain, to be fair, especially because they're always changing. But there was never a business perspective on it. A lot of artists will come into this not really thinking about it from a business perspective. They think about it from an artist perspective. They make the art, they sell the art on whatever it is, either as prints or other manufactured products, whether they do it in-house or not. And they don't consider the business aspect, which is, for many people, hard, boring, exhausting, and mentally draining, which it is. There are some days where I'm like, I don't want to do this. You know, taxes are always the thing I hate doing because it's such a pain in the butt. But it's part of the business. I have to do it. And I've accepted those terms when I decided to have a business and continue that business. You know, the only real gripe is I accepted these terms. I should do them, you know. And I think a lot of artists come into this thinking, oh, well, this person made a lot of money, so I want to be able to make a lot of money too. And a lot of artists who do expand their business and make it like to a larger scale of more than just them themselves, like they're able to bring another team member on, or they have like a virtual assistant, or they're able to hire help to be at conventions, or a couple times throughout the year during the holidays to help with influx of orders because of the holidays. Those artists don't always show the back end, which is the business perspective. They're usually on top of their books. They have a good base knowledge of where's their money going, what are their customers, how they're responding to their product, how are, the research part, if they want to make a new product, they're doing all that marketing research and stuff like that, or they bring somebody on. There's a lot of back end stuff and a lot of work that a lot of artists don't see. And it's not like intentional, because a lot of it is like privacy concerns and stuff like that. Nobody wants to share everything about their business, behind the scenes. And the only downside to that is a lot of new artists come into the scene and they don't realize what's happening. They just think you make the product, you sell it, and you're done. And obviously, nobody should expect anyone to come into this knowing anything. But when they are shared that information, it's almost like they don't want to consider it as the reality, and it becomes really frustrating to watch some artists like struggle because they won't accept that, hey, you can give yourself a break if you implement these different systems, or maybe change how your perspective is or how you're handling this, and maybe take a step back, and that, without, closing your business basically, or going on a break or something like that. And they get stuck in this, well, so-and-so does it. So-and-so is always working. So-and-so is staying up late. So-and-so is, it's like, no. You can't run your business based on someone else's business. If you are here to just copy somebody else's business model, you're probably going to fail. And that's something I've really learned, because I follow a lot of business owners of different fields, not necessarily just art. And there are a lot of common themes in terms of business, like from the business perspective, that they all have. A lot of it is customer service. A lot of it is financials. A lot of it is the marketing aspect, like whatever platform they're on. For example, YouTube. They will talk about how they're adjusting their videos or thumbnails, or the ad revenue, like putting ads on their videos, how they're adjusting it to be more friendly to their viewers while not ruining their profit. There's a lot of like research and time and stuff that's taken into account with those decisions. And no matter what the business is, and this is gonna sound funny, but from owning a fish store to owning a tech repair store to owning an art business, that process of exploring and research and taking time to learn and actually adapt to YouTube, for example, that's a lot of time. But they all do it, and they all adjust based on what their research finds. For example, the artist YouTuber might find her viewers are totally fine with ads in the middle of her videos, while the fish store owner may find out his viewers do not like ads in the middle of the video. They prefer them towards the beginning and the end. But they're both doing the same process of what are their viewers responding to the most? What can they do to adjust so they don't like ruin their income, obviously, but also make their viewers happy. And despite having two different audiences with different likes and everything else, they make those adjustments to make everyone happy. And that's how you're supposed to be running your business. It's not just making the stuff. It is something needs to be fixed and changed and adjusted, and you got to make the time to do it. And that's really why I started this channel as well, is because I realized I needed to do that. I really needed to have a good hard look at my business and start making some changes. And this channel is 100% keeping me accountable for that. Even if it's not perfect, it's making sure I'm staying focused on the big things that matter. So like here, this entire planning session, if you are actually looking at it, it's very focused on storytelling with my comics and everything else, because that's what I want to do. I haven't had dinner yet, so I apologize if my stomach is growling. It should be done when I'm done recording. But I want to be a story-driven business. I want story-driven art. I want character-driven art. I want to be the one to produce stories that are fun, entertaining, filled with creatures and monsters and all this other stuff. And it kind of dawned on me, I think when I started this channel or just before, I'm like, why am I not doing that? Like, there was really no reason for me not to do it. I had just lost complete focus by getting lost in what everybody else was doing and trying to keep up with that. And that's when I was like, wow, I am doing the wrong thing. I'm on the wrong path. I need to change that immediately. And that's when I did my 14-day assessment thing, where I said, I need to take a good hard look at my business. I still need to make money and still want to make products and stuff, but I need to kind of like step back and figure out what I need to get rid of, what I need to change to get back on that path that I wanted to be on, which was the story stuff. And I don't think I've ever been happier with my business. It is a slow period in terms of like selling products and stuff, but I'm taking advantage of the slow period because now I can get more product done. I can get my comics done. Things are moving along really well. The only thing that's really taken a back seat is our videos, mainly because I've just been busy with my comic campaign and that really took priority. But now that is done, thankfully everything's been shipped out except for anyone who didn't fill out their shipping information, which is not my fault. I'll be sending reminders to them again. That's totally freed up my time now. So I can go back to focusing on my story-driven stuff, and it is February 7th as of recording this. This will probably be released on the 9th, which is Sunday. But I'm in a really good position to keep going. I'm not overworking myself. I'm not overwhelming myself. I'm focusing on the big ticket items, which are my comics and stories, and that I think will work out better for me. I think most of my customer responses have been on products that have character in them. There's personality, there's expressions, there's something more than just a Halloween-based item. You know, there's more to it. So keeping that in mind, I'm like, okay, this obviously does align with my business goals because my product should be reflecting that as well. Even if not all my products are comics, the stickers I make, because I went crazy and made like almost 20 different sticker designs to upload. Those are now focused on being more expressive, being a little bit more character driven, but still have a fun spooky theme or monsterish theme or whatever. But they're more like this Halloween cat. I'm just going to do an example. This is not what I drew, but an example. The skeleton cat is now actually doing something of interest. It's not just a cute cat with a hat. It's a cat that maybe is, I'm trying to think of something I would think about, is playing with, I don't know, playing with a wand or something, or maybe magic mushrooms. You know, something like that. Alright, I had to stop and get my food because it was done. Anyway, back to the cat and the magic mushroom. But that gives me like a concept to go with, and like, what else can this mischievous cat get into with a design? How can I make that fun and more appealing? Because it's kind of like, some people do like very calm, more designy stuff. Some people like to be more entertained and have more life to the designs that they're buying. Like, a pattern of leaves is one thing. A pattern of leaves turned into ghosts that are just screaming about something or other is another, you know? And that's kind of where my mindset is different in terms of approaching products now, is going back to things I used to enjoy drawing, which is weird, fun stuff. So yeah. And I was able to fill out my digital downloads tracker, so those are all gone from my Etsy shop, and they are now replaced with a lot of those sticker designs that focus on that more character-driven element, and I'm very happy about that. There are a few that aren't quite character-driven, but it's okay. I mean, I'm not gonna be perfect at it. This is a pretty big change for me, where I'm trying to just get myself back into it, but a majority of them are. So I'm really happy about that. And the Last Chance is the last stuff that I need to get rid of, and I actually sold out of one of those at a convention I did, so things are progressing. Now I am in a spot for my products and my business where I can now expand, which is kind of like my theme of the year, which is expansion. And I'm just happy with it. So yeah, that's kind of like my little chat on like artists and business and stuff, and how when you're an artist and you're starting a business, you have to take into account all the business decisions, and it's not always fun, and it's a lot of research and sitting and reflection, and did that actually work? And if it didn't, why not? And boy, sometimes there's a lot that just doesn't work. But the good thing is, when you find out all this stuff, you have the ability to change it. No business has to go under. It only goes under if you aren't willing to make those changes. So yeah, hopefully the next couple of videos I can share more about like what else is changing and the progress and how it's being received and how I'm either doing it successfully or not. But so far it's feeling right, and it feels more in line with everything I want to do. So alright, thank you guys for watching. If you want to hear more about a small biz artist, or you want to like hear more about that perspective, and you want to take your art business more seriously, or you just want more of a businessy type art channel, make sure to subscribe down below, and I will see you in the next video.